Hey everyone, it's Drummond. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you know whenever I'm posting my next video. So today's video, I wanted to talk about how hard their journey is to being your most authentic self. We are in a world where there are standards and there are boxes and there are checklists of things that people believe that you have to be whatever you want to be in life. And in a lot of instances, to be successful, you're supposed to follow these checklists. To be considered a good person, you have to follow these checklists. And in a lot of senses, we are told that we cannot be certain things, even when our heart pulls us to that part of our life. A lot of times there's something that we really love, something that brings us to life, that somehow one of those checklists tells us that that is not in the cards for us. And in a lot of senses, that is something that we grow up with, to where normal for us is whatever our parents, whatever guardians or authoritative figures we have in our life tell us are okay things to do and the things that aren't okay to do. And we take that into our adult lives. And unfortunately, a lot of us build this really intense environment around us that kind of creates a life that is really hard to break free from once you hit the point in your life where you're saying, I'm not happy. The things that I'm doing are not fulfilling me. And that is something that is really, really hard to break free from, because when it comes to becoming your most authentic self, when it comes to chasing your passions, when it comes to chasing your identity, it is really hard when everything is screaming at you to come back to the main path. And even when you stray just a little bit from the beaten trail that everyone else is on, a lot of times you face challenges because your brain has accepted what is normal. Your brain has accepted this idea and reality that this is the way life is. And when you choose to be something other than that reality because you aren't finding happiness in the reality that you're currently in, because one thing or another just does not add up, whether it's your career. For LGBT people, it's our sexual orientation doesn't align with everyone else that's surrounding us. And there are so many other things in our life that can really just make us feel like we don't fit here. And we go on that journey to find our authentic happiness, our authentic selves, where we can look in the mirror and go, you know what, I'm proud of you. And it's not easy. And I think that a lot of people think that when it comes to people who are walking through life extremely happy, that these people were just born that way. And in a lot of cases, that's just not true. And for the LGBT community, that's even harder to be true right from the beginning, because society and family values and so many things are stacked against us when it comes to fitting in and feeling like who we are is enough and is okay. So when it comes to living our most authentic life, a lot of times we will meet people that are encouraging and want to help us kind of find that authentic part of ourselves that isn't the mask that we've put on to be accepted by the rest of the world. And that's scary. And when people jump into our lives to help us with that, a lot of times those are people that really want to love us fully and want to be there for us. And when it comes to being in a place where we haven't fully accepted and loved ourselves for our truest identity, because we have lived in a society that told us that you can't love yourself fully if you're not this and this, when someone comes into our lives and introduces, hey, I love you no matter what choice you make, I'm going to love you through this. And a lot of times we reject those people, because when someone loves us more than we're able to love ourselves, it doesn't make sense to us. And those are actually the people that we have to hold on to. And I will tell you right now, on my journey that I've been on, there have been people who I've pushed out of my life that loved me so much that I was just like, you're obsessive, you're crazy, you're too much. And I'm just like, there's no way I'm as perfect as you're making me out to be, because this checklist over here, I'm missing a lot of the checklist stuff over here. But the truth is, those people have heard me talk about the things that bring me to life. They've heard me talk about the dreams that I wish I could have, because I'm sitting here like wishful thinking, and when things come into my mind that just make me happy, whether that's an LGBT relationship, which over here still isn't accepted, but over here in this place of full authenticity, that is a reality that can exist. And people hear you talk about that, and they will give every ounce of themselves to help you get to that point, because they know what it's like to feel accepted and loved for 100% of themselves. But it's not an easy journey, and a lot of times the reality over here pulls us back because it gets very uncomfortable breaking away from that mindset. And in a lot of times we have to really dig deep and pull different pieces out that are rooted in us from childhood. And we have to realize that on this journey, it's not going to be easy, but every single step you take, it does get easier, and you do start to love yourself fuller. And the issue is, so many people revert back to this reality over here just because it is hard to find your authentic self. It is hard to ask yourself those questions of, is this what I really believe? Is this my reality? Or is this a reality that's been put on me since childbirth? And is this something that I want to accept? Does this make me happy? Or does this feel like something that's not me? And in a lot of ways, we all need someone who can love us more than we can love ourselves in that moment, because the space in between full authenticity and loving yourself fully and living in a reality that you don't check all the boxes and you feel lesser than is a intense journey of self-discovery. And when it comes to making that journey, it's not easy to do it alone. A lot of people who do it alone end up going back to this reality over here where they just kind of accept a reality of, okay, I just won't feel accepted in this way. I just won't be loved in this way. And in that reality, we surround ourselves with people that make us feel like the way that we currently love ourselves, maybe 40%. We will surround ourselves with people over here that love that 40% of us and rejects the part that we are still struggling with learning to accept within ourselves. Whereas the people over here that look at us as a whole picture, flaws and all, mistakes, misunderstandings, lost identities, these people look at us and just love us 100% because they've gotten to that point where they look at themselves and, they say, I'm flawed, and that's okay. I love that part about myself because I'm on a journey until the day I die to discover the most authentic version of myself. And those people want that for everyone. I know that that's something that I do as a coach. I work with people and I hear them. I see people light up when they talk about something, and then they start to kind of fold away into darkness when they talk about other things, when they are like, well, I wanted to do that, but it doesn't fit this checklist that reality has told me I have to check to be successful, to be loved, to be accepted. And I just kind of really, as a coach, try to point out like, hey, did you not feel that? Did you not see that place where you just lit up when you were talking about this? That is something that you can have. It's not going to be easy, but it is a reality that exists for you. You just have to go through the fear of not fitting in, the fear of not being accepted by the people that are staying over here. And believe it or not, just because you walk away from the people over here doesn't mean that you can't get over here and call them up and be like, hey, it is great over here. You really should take a journey off of that beaten trail and find your true calling. And in so many cases, and it's painful for me because I see people light up and I see people get excited and I see people start to take those steps to get to that authentic version of themselves. And then something happens that scares them from taking that journey any further, and they fall back into that place of misery because they know that there are parts of themselves they just cannot show the world over here. And then there are people who think that if they just really just blow up, like they just react in a negative way or an intense way over here, that people eventually will see them and just accept them. But the truth is, over here is a status quo that cannot be broken. The only thing that you can do is convince more and more people to come over here and realize that we are all extremely unique people that need to take our own individual journeys, and hopefully we have people that love us enough to just continue to push us. And it's hard, it's very uncomfortable, and the people that are holding their hands out for us, that's heart, that is love, that is God's love going through this person, wanting to help you find your truest self, wanting you to find the person that you're meant to be, to find the gifts that God has given you to use to share with the world. And that person puts so much heart into that connection, into that guidance, into that help. And that is something that I know personally I've experienced many times, where I'm holding out my hand and I see someone really wanting to take it, and they pull their hand back and turn their back. And it hurts when it's a client. It hurts even more when it's someone even closer in my life, whether that's a relationship, whether that's a family member, a best friend. It's really hard because a lot of times when they step off that beaten trail, when they step off and try to become their authentic self and they hit a hard place, a lot of times when they go back to the trail with everybody else over here, a lot of times they shut people out that have tried to be there for them. And when you're someone like me who has used your heart, and you see that beautiful part of them starting to glow when they're stepping off of this trail that's just not meant for anyone, and you just see them turn their back on you, and a lot of times they will cut you out 100% because it hurts too much to have someone say, I love you, for 100% of you when you don't feel that way about yourself. It hurts to be able to see someone showing you a reality that could exist for you that you don't truly believe could happen. And it hurts to go back to this reality over here where you have to accept that you are not enough, where you have to accept that people just don't love you for 100%. You have to accept being loved for just pieces of yourself. And you're on this path over here, and to have any connection with people over here means that you have to accept the fact that you've chosen not to follow your passion, that you've chosen not to allow your heart and your love and happiness to guide you in a different direction than what society tells us you have to be. And so in a lot of cases, people cut me out of their life because I'm a person that I want to see everyone reach their fullest potential. I want people to see the gifts that God gave them and use them 100% to heal the world. And it does hurt. I've been hurt so many times. And at the end of the day, like, I have to just hold that hurt, absorb it, hope that someone else will come along that I can help, hope that it doesn't hinder me on my own journey of finding self-acceptance, because even though I'm over here and have chosen not to continue my life on this path over here of accepting that at some point, no one's going to love you 100%. I can't go back to that trail, but that doesn't mean that when I put my hand out to someone to show them all the love that I have to give and be there for them through thick and thin. I know it's not easy. There have been so many people where life gets really hard, and I take on that challenge with them because I know that people need someone to help them get through those times so that they can continue on the journey of finding their truest self. But in that, I'm not only fighting my own battles, I'm fighting other people's battles that leave me scarred. And when someone just kind of walks away and goes back and just cuts you out, you have to not only sit there and continue battling towards your most authentic self, but you also have to deal with all the thoughts and stuff that come up with, wow, do I want to continue to be a person that does this for people, or do I need to be a little bit more selfish in the way of focusing on me and getting to a space where I can thrive and hope that there's other people on that side that can thrive with me. But at the end of the day, like, this side doesn't have like a huge village of people, because it's like the woods. You're in a jungle and everyone's kind of on different paths trying to find their most authentic self on that journey. And this side looks easy. This side looks like, you know what? I can breathe over here. I can sleep without worrying that a tiger is going to jump out of the jungle and eat me, because over here, I've got the status quo of community of people that are surrounding me. And yeah, I might be not feeling the greatest, but at least I can sleep and not worry about snakes and tigers and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, like, you're not finding yourself. And I think that that's the most important thing that we all need to work on, is finding our most authentic self. So yes, it is hard. Yes, it is scary. But I'll tell you right now, had I stayed on the status quo path of being a doctor, a lawyer, an architect, I would not be where I am today, where I have found true excitement and true passion for helping other people when it comes to coaching, when it comes to my positive talks, when it comes to creating the content that I create to put online. I am in a place of pure happiness. Like that, this is not the part that stresses me out. It's the helping other people that decide that they don't want to find their authentic self because it's too hard. Like, that hurts just because I'm giving my heart to that person, and a lot of times they just slap it back, and a lot of times it comes with very harsh words. It comes with putting self-doubt within me because they doubt that this reality could really exist, and I have to brush myself off and keep going. And I do know that I'm the type of person that I can take a lot more than a lot of people can. I've been through some really hard situations, and my mindset and the environment I've created for myself and the tools that I've gathered on my journey over here has really helped me kind of be more equipped and able to kind of get through things. And I just want to share that with people. And it's not easy. When you see so much self-doubt, because this side of the world comes with so much assurance. They're like, see, you can see where this path leads for miles and miles and miles. We know that it exists. Whereas here, sometimes you have to kind of pivot, and you have to turn around, and you have to take other paths, and you have to ask for advice, and you have to trust people, and you have to hope that when people say certain things that it's not a lie. Like, there are so many different things, but I will say, once I got to this journey, this is where I found acceptance for being a gay Christian. This is where I found acceptance in being a content creator and being a life coach, to self-empowerment and being able to manifest the things that when I was over here, I just thought were like pipe dreams that could never happen. And then I get over here and start making those things reality, and they start coming true. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this is possible. And I really truly believe that the gifts that God has given me fell into my arms over here because I chose to walk off this trail of status quo and believe that when I went this way, God was going to be my guide. He wasn't going to let me hit anything that I couldn't recover from. He was teaching me lessons along the way. And now that I've taken that journey, I just want to just scream to all these people over here and just help them realize that this misery that you're feeling, and it seems like more and more people are over here. They compare themselves to us online. They compare us when they see us in public, and they just say, oh, that person's lucky. That person was born into this. I can't have that because of this, this, and this. And it's just not true. And I want to help more and more people get to a place where the things that once upon a time they just thought were things that they could never have fall into their life, to where they can just believe in even more. They can keep going on that journey to where they're like, you know what? I want to be with a partner that loves me 100%. I want to have a family where I feel secure. I want to have a job that doesn't drain me every single day. And instead of feeling like that's an impossible thing, I want you to feel that that is 100% obtainable. And it just does not happen on this path over here. And I think so many people think that when I say you need more people in your friendship circle that are on this path, that they're saying you have to hate and abandon and throw these people out. No. But on this journey of leaving that trail, those people aren't going to be guides. Those people are blind sheep just like you, and you need someone that's gotten off the trail, has explored it a little bit, has obtained some type of thing that once upon a time they thought wasn't achievable, and those people will continue to pull you up. I always try to surround myself with people who are achieving things in life that I thought couldn't be manifested, couldn't be had, and those people prove to me that it is. So therefore, I believe that I can get there as well. And it starts with just taking a leap of faith and believing that that happiness, that ability to look at yourself and love yourself 100% is possible, but you have to step into the discomfort first. So hopefully this video was helpful to you all. I know that it's not an easy topic, but as always, feel free to leave some comments in the comment section below. Go check out my website. I've got lots of really cool stuff there that I'm growing right now as a business. And I absolutely would love to have you all on the journey. If you want to work with me as a coach, feel free to reach out to me by my email that I've got listed on my website. I would love to work with you. I would love to be there as a guide as you step towards your more authentic self. I promise you it's worth it. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.